the Final Fantasy XVI DLC called The Rising Tide, which will be coming out on April 18th. Now, when I saw this trailer in my YouTube sub box, I was very interested. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this right when I get off of work. And I get off of work and I forgot, and I just literally have not watched it since then. So I thought it'd be fun to just like live react to it. And of course, if you haven't played Final Fantasy 16, you are prone to spoilers. I don't know what the trailer shows, so like there may be spoilers in it. I may talk about Final Fantasy 16's ending. I'll see if I do mention the ending. I will warn you before I do. Okay, the trailer is playing. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so quite long. But we'll see how it goes.
A new Mother Crystal.
A new Mother Crystal? Wait, what? This is in the future?
People's wandering, our suffering finally end.
Hey, yo, hold up. This is
all
interesting.
It would require was the sacrifice of a single child.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember if they explain how Mother Crystals are made, so like, I'm assuming it has something to do with the icons. Okay, so we got some lasers. Okay, we got some chocobo riding action.
None other than Shiva.
Okay, so this, I'm assuming... Whoa, who's this Yo, who's this knight? Hold up. Timekeeper, what the fuck? Holy shit, this guy looks dope. Hey, yo, who's this kid? What the hell? White-haired kid. Wait, was that the person you were fighting?
Fate than the one my people forced upon it.
Okay, we got some water action. I do know this is about Leviathan, this DLC, so I'm assuming that's what that kid was, maybe. Thalos. The music hits as usual. Oh wait, I just noticed. Okay, wait up. Why is Ultima talking? Okay, I was gonna say, we're using Leviathan's powers, which is dope, but... Ultima is talking, which is cool. Oh, is that Leviathan? Holy shit. Yo, are they gonna have a Leviathan boss fight? There's no way. Because Titan was godly. I wonder what a Leviathan boss fight... Oh, it's literally right here. Whoa, ho, ho, okay, buddy. Okay, Leviathan is flying around shooting lasers at you. You're fighting as Ifrit. Holy fuck, this looks insane. Yo, I didn't know it was gonna be this expansive, the DLC. Okay, yo, Leviathan's got lasers, bro. I don't know about this shit. Man's flying in the air now. Water spout attack. Oh my... Yo, that scale is insane. The water tornado. Okay. Ultima on the right was interesting. Okay, wow. Cool ass trailers at the end. I don't know if they're gonna show... Oh. Water. This shows like some dragon in the middle. Oh. Okay, it showed Clive with like 4 wings. Thoughts about it. I believe I read that this does take place within the game. It kind of has to with how... Actually, you know what? I'm going to say right now, spoiler warnings for Final Fantasy 16 because I feel like I kind of need to talk about the end to kind of talk about this. So the way Final Fantasy 16 ended, it is assumed Clive dies or like something like that. So like, I'm assuming this takes place within the game. You're with Jill, it's Clive, Joshua's here too. You have this white-haired kid, which I'm assuming is maybe Leviathan. And what's interesting to me is the trailer ended and it has like a shot of 5 characters and it has the kid, Jill, Clive, Joshua, and Ultima. I don't know why they're showing Ultima here. Ultima was talking during the trailer too. Is he important? If you don't know, Ultima is like the main villain of Final Fantasy 16. Clive coming at the end with the 4 wings is interesting. Is this like the whole Ifrit and Phoenix combination thing? Is that what's going on? Like I forgot what it's called. But the trailer was dope. Holy shit. What's funny is when I played Final Fantasy 16, during it I was also playing Final Fantasy 14 and I was realizing because I also have like the Final Fantasy 14 encyclopedia, so I was kind of looking through and I was looking at like what gods are in Final Fantasy and I realized like, yeah, it's weird that they don't have Leviathan in Final Fantasy 16. This is not a thing. And I never expected for them to add it in a DLC. It looks super fucking dope. I don't know who this Timekeeper is. That's what I'm honestly most interested in because if the design was cool alone, I'd be like, yeah, that's dope. But like, it's called the Timekeeper because Final Fantasy 16 also has like aspect of like history where like you have these ruins that look more futuristic in terms of their architecture with the circles and stuff, but they're in the past. So like, I'm very interested in what's going on there. So like, is the Timekeeper related to that? Because I think he is because all those like enemies that come from those ruins have like these lightsabers and this guy's using lightsabers too. I'm trying to figure out if this Timekeeper is a kid. Are they the same person? Okay, so it shows Clive attack the Timekeeper and then it cuts to the kid kind of like with his arm out. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a hint that he's a Timekeeper. I don't know how that would work because the Timekeeper looks like 10 feet tall and the kid looks like a kid size. So this looks cool. I did not expect it to be this cool. Also, something I want to mention, I really got to find the tweet hopefully so like I have like a source to claim this, but when I was on Twitter, I believe there's a tweet from someone in the Final Fantasy 16 team and I believe it said that if you play this DLC, which is the Rising Tide, and you play the first DLC, which I believe is called Echoes of the Fallen. But I believe they said that if you play both, you will unlock an epilogue for the main game. And once you unlock the epilogue, your reaction to it will be, ah, so that's what it is. Or like, ah, so that's what happened. So I'm very interested to see what that epilogue is. And just based on that, I really want to play the DLC as soon as possible now, because if you didn't know, Final Fantasy 16 ends very open-ended. So I'll just go through right now. You go to the final boss. It's you, it's Joshua. Joshua dies. And so you fight the final boss, you kill it. But what happens is you're fighting the boss in this floating island. And before like the game ends, Clive sees Joshua on the ground, his dead body. And Joshua pretty much died to a wound. And Clive heals the wound. Then the floating island falls in the ocean. Clive is swept up to the shore. And Clive looks at his hand and he's pretty much turning it to stone. But it also cuts later to like way into the future. And it shows like a couple of kids playing and they're kind of like joking around saying like, oh, I want to be Ifrit, I want to be the Phoenix or whatever. It pans over to a book on the table and it's called Final Fantasy and is written by Joshua, and the game ends. And so based on that, the assumption is that Clive dies and Joshua somehow survived and he wrote that book, and that book ends up becoming probably like the entire history of Icons becomes a fairy tale. Based on like that ending, my assumption was, and like I took like the Occam's razor approach of like the simplest explanation, which is Clive obviously died, it showed him turning into stone, it showed Jill crying. Based on what we saw in the game, when Clive healed Joshua's wound, I'm assuming he pretty much just like revived him or something, and that when the floating island landed in the water, Joshua survived. That's the only explanation, because Clive obviously survived it because it landed in the water, he got swept to the shore. You can assume that Joshua survived it and he got swept to the shore too. He probably found Clive's body and then he, you know, went out to live and make that book. And so I'm assuming the epilogue that we're gonna get after we beat the DLC is gonna answer that question in some way. I'm not sure what they can show. Is the epilogue gonna like the only thing I can see it being is like a cutscene, like Joshua landing off the island, finding Clive's body, and there being a more of a resolution of like Jill accepting what happened to Clive and things like that. I can't imagine a gameplay epilogue. Like, what would you play? Like, I don't see like a world where like you're fighting bad guys in this epilogue. Like, there wouldn't be, unless you get to play as Joshua. Maybe that's the thing, but like I'm not sure if they'd go that deep for an epilogue where you get to play as a whole new character. So like I'm very interested to see what the epilogue will be.